in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to one of our special shows we've been doing on the Top 10 lately. That's Topic Thunder. That's the one where you all, as patrons, send in topics you want us to talk about, and then Matt and I go through them one by one until we hit the 20, 25-minute, sometimes 30-minute mark.
It just depends.
Sometimes 40-minute mark. Depends on what we're in the mood for, but you're catching us. This is our third show we're recording for the Top 10. And look, we're on video again. Hey-oh, how's it going, everyone?
Yeah, taking full advantage, and we thank you for the people that are, paying attention. Because only people on Patreon can hear this. Some at a lower tier can hear the audio.
It's true.
You bump up to the 20, you get to stare at these gorgeous mugs. And I keep pulling my hat off, that sweet, sweet hat hair. And I put that back on.
That's good to go.
And do it over the course of a couple hours. And we're just here to go through the topics that you guys submit. That's
right. That's right. Do you want to start us off, Matt, or do you want me to do this?
Sure. Okay. It starts with a gentleman, a longtime listener, Anthony Casanova, that says, "Hey guys, this is Anthony Casanova.
Oh, thanks, Anthony.
I'm a big fan of all you do, from the main show to the relist to Sports Time, Dropping Dimes, and everything else. I have two possible topics of conversation. Feel free to answer one or both." Well, maybe we won't answer either. How about that? We do what we want.
Don't tell us what to do.
My question is, what are your thoughts on The Hunt being canceled and pulled from its release date? Why this movie over any other movie with gun violence or a plot that involves people hunting people? Example, John Wick, The Purge, and hundreds of more. Or, secondly, it seems Matt has some strong feelings on the Schmodown ruling when it comes to O. Russell. I'm just wondering if maybe there's a chance for you to return in another smaller capacity, maybe manager, a judge on these types of rulings, or even announcing. Also, are we ever going to see Harloff versus Nost, or is Christian still ducking him? Maybe Patreon exclusive. Thanks for answering one or both of my questions, and keep up the great work. From Mr. Anthony Casanova. The first one, thoughts on it being released?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, well, what makes this movie different than other movies? And I get the impetus for that particular argument, but this is not a John Wick movie. This is not these other kinds of movies. This is a movie that's legitimately about the current political situation in our country. You are having they're called the deplorables, which are people that these liberal elites have captured from other areas of the country to use to hunt down and kill. Now, in the movie, from what we've been told, is that the deplorables end up fighting back and winning and killing the liberal elites, and it's about showing the idea that both sides have issues with them, and we have cause, exactly, and it's something to explore. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to see the release or be released so that people could see the movie and make their own minds up, because everyone was in hysterics about it after the gun, the shootings and everything like that. And all of a sudden, we want a studio to be responsible, and so they pulled it. But I think, in my personal opinion, I think they also pulled it because they knew the movie wasn't going to do well anyway. So what was the point of wasting time putting it out there and whatever? They'd rather eat the cost of it than lose out on the financial side and on the PR side,
and having to go through all that for a shit movie.
Exactly,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, to say that a production company or a movie company, any kind of entertainment distribution, wouldn't put something out for the sake of a buck is naive at best. I mean, look at Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Let's do a comedy about concentration camps with Nazis at the helm. I mean, the other guys weren't obviously Jewish.
Right.
But I want to see at least like one of the actors was.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, they're in this for a buck. You ever seen the movie Elephant?
Yeah. Right, it's Kurt Cobain one, right?
No, the Elephant.
Oh no, the school shooting one.
Is Columbine based.
Right.
And should we be glorifying what happened that day? Is it glorifying, or is it basically trying to give a viewer an understanding of what happened that day?
Yeah.
But you are raising the profile of these two assholes, and It's a weird line that you're walking. I don't know anything about this movie. I just know that it got pulled.
Yep, it got pulled.
And then when I heard the description, I was like, it sounds like a bunch of other movies I've seen.
Yeah.
But I know nothing.
But I didn't like that it got pulled. I got it because they were trying to hide behind it being a responsible studio. But to me, it's also like it's censorship. Like this is a free market economy. It's about supply and demand. If you put out supply and there's no demand for it, then you know it wasn't something you should have put out. Okay, you move on. But that's the game. And so to me, to purposely withhold certain ones, I think because you think in some heavy-handed way that you're somehow saving the society, but I guarantee you the people that pulled it are the same people who would push back on the idea that films cause people to commit violence.
Yeah.
It's not true. And there's no statistics to prove that it is. And so to pull it plays into the narrative that is true, that movies can cause violence. So that bothers me on a lot of levels. But whatever. It wasn't that good of a movie, I don't think.
But the release of it was just poorly timed by what happened within our society, unfortunately, at a regular interval these days. So it's to the degree now where it's all starting to lose its impact. Because 10, 12, 14 days later, there's another one, and they all get jumbled in my head.
You're right.
Because it's just mind-numbing. It's like, of course there was one.
Right.
Oh, this time it was in the home of blah, 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 like, such and such is from that town. It's just to help crystallize that this could happen anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's one of my greatest fears, man. Now that I've, really fallen in love, really be with this amazing woman, one of my greatest fears is to get a call that, she was involved in a shooting. Because she works at the college. There could be an active shooter at the college at any time. So it's like those kinds of things kind of, they worry me in my head. It's probably irrational, but you never know.
Could happen anywhere.
Yeah, true. Could happen anywhere.
Somebody loses in the schmodown.
That day. Woof.
If it runs for long enough, it just increases its potential chance because the failure is on a public stage.
Yeah, right.
So if some person you didn't realize was unhinged has a public gaffe and that to them it's dishonoring to a degree that they can't even fathom, it could happen.
Yeah, sure. That's fair.
It could happen anywhere so long as you stay in that place long enough.
Yeah, true. What about the second part of it? Do you want to answer any of that, the showdown stuff? Okay.
No.
Fair
never
enough.
coming back. Never going to happen.
Got it.
Christian doesn't have the balls.
Good to go.
He doesn't.
All right. This one's from Joe Ibarra. Joey! Tropic Thunder, mother effers. Hey, guys, I have 3 questions. One for each of you and one for you both. Matt, you're a shoe guy like myself. How many pairs of shoes do you have? Any specific brand or type you prefer than another? I've recently went to get my first pair of Air Jordans. I usually go for running/cardio shoes. Would you recommend Air Jordans for light cardio, or are they just for looks?
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. I would not wear Air Jordans for anything other than looks. It's just not designed, with modern, especially if you're used to running and cardio. Then you've been buying the latest, greatest, whatever technology they're rolling out for that stuff, and you're just going to get better arch support, better cushioning, better materials. It's going to pull moisture and sweat away from your feet faster. It's a superior shoe. Wear the Jordan 1s for the looks.
Yeah.
Jordan makes other shoes in his line that you could use for that type of stuff.
Sure.
But if you're just going for some retro Jordan 1s, I would just buy those. How many pairs of shoes do I own? Well, I haven't bought a pair in a while because we got on this house hunt.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't bought a pair of shoes. I've been looking.
Yeah.
There's at least 20 or 25 pairs that I wanted to pull the trigger on at various points.
Right.
But personally, I've pared down a little bit of my pairs. And I think I've got, let's call that 18 to 20.
Wow.
Something like that.
Okay.
It's not as bad as it could be, trust me.
Yeah.
I got my eye on numerous different pairs.
Okay.
What do I have a favorite? Well, the majority of mine are Nikes.
Okay.
But I got one pair Yeezy 350s. I'm probably going to get another pair of Yeezy 350s.
Yeah, you like those.
They're nice. They're comfy.
Catherine does not like them.
She thinks they're ugly as hell. I get it, but I like them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I got one pair of Boosts. I'm not much of an Adidas guy, but I like what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it just depends. Like Travis Scott Air Jordan 4s. They're fucking dope as shit, and I will eventually get a pair of my size.
Okay.
Those are dope.
Let me see that.
He's got 2. He's got a Friends and Family, but I think it's the powder blue. Because the true Friends and Family you're never going to get that they issued a while back.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. I don't think the public will ever get that actual version, whereas
holy shit.
you're looking at the light blues with black. Yeah, I fucking love those things.
$600.
Cactus Jacks, yeah. I won't pay that. Eventually the market will cool.
Yeah.
But
what is Travis Scott a designer of shoes? Is that what it is?
He's a rapper.
Oh.
I don't really know his music, but
right.
I like... He's got good taste when it comes to shoes, at least on the design side.
Jesus, the Jordan 4 retro Travis Scott purple ones are $20,000.
His J1s are pretty sweet. I think he has a pair of 5s as well.
Right. Wow.
That he designed. But he's got another colorway on those 4s that it's the purple.
Okay.
I think it's a
purple and black?
suede. Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Those are $25,000.
It depends on which one you're getting. You could be getting the true. Okay, so that might be a real, honest to God, real family and friends. On the initial run of that, it only went out to the people that he chose.
Oh, okay.
So that is a rarefied.
Jesus.
There's only so many pairs of those in the world type of thing.
I got to get some friends like this.
Just
give me one
that
of
to
those.
me is dumb.
$25,000 for a pair of shoes? That's fair. That's fair. I think it's dumb too, yeah.
It is. Even though I love shoes and I find them very interesting, I'm never spending. I won't pull a trigger even though I can afford it on those Travis Scotts. It's just like, that is too much money for a pair of shoes. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. The most I think I've ever spent is like $180.
I'm thinking about eating those Kyries that I bought because I think that's why I got my knee injured.
Got to then.
I think I want to get those new LeBrons, the black and light blue ones with the white trim.
It depends on the model. There's so many colorways.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Sorry.
You could be describing anything.
Yeah.
His 15s everybody loved.
Yeah.
And the 15 lows were actually light enough to where I thought about it, but I still wear Kobe 6s.
You do? Okay.
But now it's getting too expensive. I could find cheap pairs on eBay up until the past year, and I'm on my last pair. Whenever I see one, I buy it instantly.
Yeah.
Because I wear 12 and a halves.
Oh,
it's a tough size to find.
Okay.
But that shoe fits my foot like a glove, and I've been wearing it for 7 years, 8 years.
Like a glove.
I go through 2 to 3 pairs a year.
Okay. All right.
And for basketball. But yeah, the ones I bought, the only pair I bought in the interim in this entire run of Kobe's, I bought some Hyper Revs, and I liked them at first, and then I hated them.
Oh, okay.
I wore them like 3 times, and then I gave them to a friend.
All right.
He's a young comic. He didn't have a lot of money. He's like, what size do you wear?
Like,
I'm never going to wear these again. They just, you know, I thought that I liked them. I don't. You want them? He's like, hell yeah.
Done and done. All right. The rest of the question, John, this one is for you. Despite what you say, you look to be in shape. I am not. I am fat as fuck. What's your gym routine like? Is there certain days you focus on a specific part of your body?
When was the last time you went to the gym?
Yeah, it's been a while, dude. Yeah. I've put on like 10, 15 pounds. It's love weight, we're going to tell you. And plus, being busy all the time, bro, it's so fucking hard. It's so fucking hard.
I think if you just ran some water through your hair, you lose like, what, half pound to a pound of gel. See, they can
I don't put that much on there.
I don't know, man. There are certain days where you're like, dude,
much on
that could stop a meteor. That thing is...
It's the illusion of it, but it's very soft.
My favorite is the Latino does a slick back.
Yeah.
With like a shit ton. You're like, that is an actual helmet of hair, man.
Yeah, I've seen those.
That is a choice.
Those brothers bring it, man. I respect those Latino brothers. What's your gym routine like? Okay, I'll tell you what my gym routine used to be like. I'll give you that. I used to work out, do 5 days a week. I'd have half an hour cardio, right into an hour of lifting, and then about 10, 15 minutes of ab work on that machine that you have. Because I found that worked best for me. But in the end, CrossFit was the one that really got me in the best shape. CrossFit was fantastic. It was unrelenting. I was driven to do it. I was challenged every day I walked in there, and it challenged different parts of your body, and there was nothing more satisfying than laying on the fucking ground dead from a workout than when I was doing CrossFit. I was never in better shape.
Did you ever do the ab straps? That's what got me shredded.
Oh.
Shredded like almost 8-pack. The only time I've ever had it in my life.
Mm-hmm.
After I quit drinking, I started just going to the gym, and I'd go to the gym 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And I would run for an hour, and I would do 90 minutes of lifting.
Yeah.
So I'm there for almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
But ab straps, dude, you're just hanging there by your arms, and you're lifting your leg to like holding straight away. Yeah. And then you're doing lift ups and all that.
Obliques and shit. Yeah.
Dude, cut.
Wow.
Like my abs were never better.
Right.
And then I own ab straps. I did it for years, and eventually it's just like, I don't work out as much anymore. And now I look at my midsection, I'm like, I don't know, you used to be something. That's the worst.
Yes, it's here. This one is for you both. You found a magic lamp. You get 3 wishes. What do you wish for? Aladdin rules.
Well, how is that just a throwing question?
I know.
I don't think we can answer that. 3 things.
Yeah.
I say we're moving on.
Okay, fine. Sounds
Joe, it's so open and narrow it down, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. What's our next one?
Is from Ruben Enriquez.
Hola.
And it says, hey, guys, I've been a fan of the show for a really long time. I first saw you guys in the original Team Schmodown after your first match. I've supported ever since.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You guys have helped me through a lot and are truly the best.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry for the long intro, but I have an idea for a topic or a show. It may take too long but to do, but could really be cool to spice it up. Have you guys ever considered doing castings of films for modern day? For example, if they were to redo To Kill a Mockingbird or American Pie today, who would you cast? That could be a really fun show idea for a slow week. Or whenever really I think that would be a badass to hear, okay? Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry for the long email. I would add a question, but I have already written a parable. Hope you guys like the idea, and if you were able to get this far, thank you so much. P.S. Would love to see you guys in Texas for a live show.
We'll see you in Houston then, I guess, Ruben.
Yeah, we will. We are searching for a date and venue, but we've gotten some pricing on a bunch of different options and trying to line up a certain date, see what works. So keep those ears peeled, man.
Yeah, it may not be a bad idea for a show in the future. Maybe a 10-minute show we do as something for the patrons.
A standalone Topic Thunder of, okay, we're taking...
Oh, yeah.
We're taking ideas, so which movies would you have us recast?
Right.
And we could look at it in advance.
Yeah.
Like pick 2 or 3 movies. Come in and just put it out there.
Good suggestion, man.
Try and see what we can do.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ruben, and thanks for being with us all this time, man. I'm glad we were able to help you with stuff. David Mitchell Baker is our next one. David Mitchell Baker. Hi, Matt and John. Hope you guys are doing well and that your brains have recovered from trying to figure out the directorial debut lists from the other week. Matt, I look forward to our talk next time you're in London where we can sort this beef out if we want to call it a beef. What's going on with you and David Mitchell Baker?
Certain things need not be spoken.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't remember because... If you want to tell me the size of the board that I need to cut later tonight and then whatever, it's 76 3/4.
That's what you got in your head.
And then probably a foot off the, I got a lot. I got all that crammed into my head now.
You do. Anyway, you guys get asked a lot about movies and TV shows, so I wanted to ask, what music have you guys been listening to lately that you liked, and who are some of your all-time favorite bands / artists? Similarly, are either of you particularly keen readers, and if so, what books have you read recently that you've liked, and what are some of your all-time favorites? Thanks as always, Top 10 Boomaye, David Mitchell Baker. All right. Music, Matt Nost. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
No, I mean, so I saw the Makito on Friday.
Okay.
The play.
The Mikado.
The Mikado, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Mikado. You mean the Gilbert and Sullivan one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
It's playing in Highland Park.
Cool.
By this thing called the POP, the Pacific Opera Project.
Yes.
Good staging.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Surprisingly good staging.
Maybe I'll see it.
That night I had to... So we left that. It was last Friday and then went home. And I had some painting to do. So I listened to the cast album of that. And then I listened to Les Mis after that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I was saying that's recently. Otherwise, it's been all podcasts and talk radio since then.
Yeah.
As far as new stuff, I mean, it depends on what you call new.
Yeah.
I've just been listening to a lot of bands that I always like.
Yeah.
New band. Can't think of one.
Yeah, I don't really find new music to listen to myself. I mean, I will flip on, the pop channels, and then I'll hear something like these Mike Posner or
I'd have to hear the song at this point.
Yeah, Camila Cabello or Sean Mullins. I'll find certain songs I like or certain artists from stuff like that. In country, same thing like Thomas Rhett. I enjoy Thomas Rhett, that kind of stuff. Josh Moore, who was my guest on, or Justin Moore, rather, who was my guest on Collider Sports Time for an interview. His new CD is fantastic. I think Long Bottles and Long Nights, something like that. Really good. Long Necks and Long Nights, that's what it's called. It's good. But yeah, that kind of stuff I'm into. But like my all-time stuff is the Beatles, the Doors, Elvis, Sam Cooke, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles. I don't know. Those are basically my big, and Elvis, of course. Elvis is the number one.
I've been listening to nonstop chill. While I'm working.
Like tech chill? You mean like techno chill?
No. Well, chill, like laid back music.
Like electronic chill music.
It's close to electronic as I'm going to get.
Okay,
to listen on that is Radiohead. Something akin to that.
Oh, right, okay. I understand.
But it's like that. Sufjan Stevens.
Oh, yeah, Sufjan Stevens.
Some Queens of the Stone Age and Zeppelin in there. But it's mostly just anything that's I don't need too fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm just zoning out while I'm doing whatever project, and I need to focus on the project, and I don't need to be like amped up. So it's just anything that's hyper chill.
Yeah.
Yeahs. So much of the other randoms.
Yeah.
But nothing new. The newest band that I really, really like was from a couple years ago, Royal Blood.
Okay.
But I can't think of another one where I'm like, have you heard this new? But I could be forgetting something. I don't think so.
Yeah. What about books? Anything, or do we move on?
I haven't read a new book in 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went on a run recently. Not reading, buying. I purchased a bunch of new books. It was not Labor Day, but it was some other recent holiday. Oh, Amazon Day, the Amazon Prime Day. I went to the Amazon Prime store that's over there in Marina Del Rey. And
didn't know they had one.
Yeah, they have one right on the corner in that like kind of outdoor mall area where the beauty bar is and the Ralph's is.
Abbot Kinney in that area?
I think so, right around that area. It's right by the marina. And
no, that'd be south of Abbot Kinney, though.
Okay. The CPK's there and all those different restaurants, Chipotle's, all the Fresh Brothers, all that shit's all around there. And they have way at the end of they have this cool little Amazon Prime store. You walk in and you can buy stuff that's like actually there and get the Prime discount, which is really nice. So we went on a run because Lily likes to read a lot. So we went and we bought a bunch. I bought her a bunch of books, bought myself a bunch of books, but it was mostly biographies, like this new Bruce Lee biography that finally came out on paperback. The Robin Williams biography that the guy from the New York Times wrote, which I really want to read.
Did you buy? I try not to do this. Buy books. I just buy one at a time.
Oh yeah. I just stack them and then go through them as I.
The problem is it turns into food because when I turn around to reading, sometimes I don't feel like what I've already purchased, and I want to order out.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't feel like, because I just finished 2 straight, biographies.
Yeah.
I want to do something else, and I'll go and find something else.
I understand.
Yeah, so I stopped doing it. So now when I want a new book, I either search online but I buy one at a time.
Yeah. Whenever anyone asks me what they said, he said, so what he said, favorite books of all time. The only one I ever really recommend is Caleb Carr's book that they did The Alienist. That's still my favorite book ever, The Alienist, which they did the TNT TV show based on. That book is incredible. The first ever serial killer documented in New York. It's a fictional book about it, and Theodore Roosevelt is the commissioner in New York of the police in New York, police commissioner in New York. So it's a fantastic book with a lot of historical stuff going through it, which I really enjoy. Do you have a favorite?
Favorite book of all time?
Yeah, man.
No.
Okay.
No. You want to pick a genre? I'll give you like 5-6 options.
Whatever you want.
Sure. Well, to narrow it down, it's like, well, what are we talking about? Now, I read some biographies, but I like more events.
Yeah.
So it's this
historical
war
events.
or this, what transpired here or what calamitous event or how did this genocide happen type of stuff.
Yeah.
The broader scope. Every once again, I want to zero in on the individual. Mm-hmm. And there are like what is it? Dave McCullough's book about the Brooklyn Bridge is really interesting.
Oh yeah, I saw. That was there.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
I think 1776 is my favorite of his.
Oh yeah,
that's really good.
I own that one.
But that more so speaks to what I like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But usually it's something along those lines where it's like, okay, we're going to delve into this. You ever thought about this? No, I haven't. How do we get to this X, Y, or Z, this battle or this event or the changing of perception or how did England become England? Oh, okay, well, go back to the Battle of 1066, and that's really kind of cemented what we have today.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting.
If you're a Theodore Roosevelt fan, dude, my mouth is dead. If you're a Theodore Roosevelt
fan. That's a mouthful.
The Edmund Morris Theodore Rex trilogy is fantastic. I love that too. All right, what's our next question, man?
You read that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I was kind of relying on you to read this one.
My mouth is dead, man.
It's from Robert Haley.
Yeah.
As I told him the last time we interacted, you go straight to hell.
Oh, is this Bobo?
Is this Bobo?
Okay.
Bobo.
Oh, my God.
It says, hello, Matt and John. Love the show and can't wait to see you live whenever you get down to Texas.
Yeehaw.
2 straight, you and Ruben. If we don't see you there.
Oh, no shit.
Dead to us both. Doubly you, Robert.
Yes.
Doubly. Thorn in my side. That's all I'll say. Thorn. My topic is thus. Would you ever consider bringing a fan onto the show? A parenthetically very exclusive and expensive Patreon tier, for instance. Obviously, with vetting to ensure the patron is entertaining and can speak intelligently about movies. Also, you should choose me, obviously. Love the show and appreciate all the content you provide. Bobo and San Antonio.
Here's the deal. I don't know what Matt's thoughts are
You
about
got strong
this.
thoughts about this.
Yeah, here's what I'll say.
Eyes went wide.
You propose a number, and Matt and I will decide if it's the right number
yeah.
and if you can come on the show for that number.
Blind bidding only.
Yes.
Blind bidding.
Yes.
And we will let you know if that is a winning bid.
Yeah.
We don't know. Robert, you seem trustworthy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we got to pay for a background check.
True.
We got to certain things. We had a guy, former CIA operative, and he will look into, comb through your history.
Absolutely.
Find out everything about you that we possibly can.
Right. We can't have someone on the show whose point of views might be dangerous for us.
Fan of the show, though, I would say a number of guests that have come on in the past already.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I listen to you guys all the time.
Yep.
I don't know if that would qualify them as a fan, but on some level.
I would argue that everyone who comes to a live show has been on our show.
Okay, there you go.
We interact
Yeah, I
with
can't
them.
fault that logic.
We interact with them, and they speak, and they're heard and recorded on our shows. So that's what I would say. So we have no problem having fans on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So technically, we've had 400 or 500 fans on the show.
Yep, absolutely. But if you want to come on solo on the show, then yeah, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of cheese.
Contact us through Patreon. There's a messaging function on there. If you really want to make this happen, perhaps we can make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've never really talked about it, but
A lot of zeros in my head. So.
oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of
That's
course.
fair. That's fair.
You know, on the main show when you're trying to figure out how many zeros are in a billion?
Yes.
I'm not saying it's quite 10 figure actually, but 9 zeros. But, there are some zeros involved.
There are zeros. There are definitely some zeros.
If they're counting the zeros of the pennies as well and you want to inflate the number, hey, this is high 5 figures.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're down with that?
Yeah.
All right. We got one more, I think, before we wrap up. We're at 26 minutes. You want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay. Our last one. Adelardo Fuente. Hello there, John and Matt. I've been a fan of yours for a while now. I had the chance to meet you and your better halves at the London show. Oh, yeah. Great. Thank you, Adelardo. I was even Matt's personal photographer with his fans. You remember him?
Yes, I do.
Cool. I also enjoy your other shows, Dropping Dimes, Cinephiles, Geek Buddies. I hope you find my question interesting. You both praised the last film from Tarantino, and it made me think about the man himself. I love a lot of his movies, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1 and 2, but hearing him talk or listening to some of the stories about him, it's really starting to impact my enjoyment of his filmography. This uneasy feeling has been amplified when I heard Steve on the Cinephiles talk about Inglourious Bastards, in particular the choking scene. But all of this doesn't seem to impact his career. I think he is an incredible director, but Spacey is a fantastic actor, and his career is over. Why do you think Tarantino is immune to this? Am I the only one who's having trouble with this? Are you able to separate the man from the artist, and should we? Thanks again, and keep up the good work. P.S. John, you have to recognize that Ace Ventura 2 when nature calls is a masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
I mean, come on. Chicago. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, whatever. Okay, fine.
Bumblebee tuna.
Dude, you had me with a great introspective question, then you hit me with some bullshit. I don't know what to
They
tell
really
you.
like you. How could you tell? I couldn't tell, actually. I don't know. What's the choking incident?
Tarantino apparently, when Diane Kruger is being choked in Inglourious Bastards, he wanted his hands to be the ones in frame choking her, legitimately choking her. He was really it looked real on screen. His excuse was, or his reasons, depending on your point of view, was that he felt that other choking scenes haven't really been realistic. And so he wanted to make it look as realistic as possible. So he wanted his hands to actually choke Diane Kruger. And that's what you see in the movies. His hands really choking her. And so it lends itself, the narrative that it's starting to come up, and it was written about in the Hollywood Reporter, is he has this kind of propensity for violence towards women in his films and in his approach to these kinds of roles when he's filming them. And so it's starting to become something that affects people's enjoyment of these movies. And I don't disagree. It's a problem I'm starting to have as well. We spoke about it, like he mentioned on the Cinephiles with Inglourious Bastards. Also, the way he treated Uma Thurman on the set of the Kill Bill that she talked about, that was really uncomfortable. And I also think at the end of it, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I don't want to ruin the ending for people who might not watch it, but the violence towards the two women is way more brutal and graphic than the violence against the dude. So to me, that
is definitely true.
Right? And so you start to wonder if maybe there's a tipping point here where someone says something that eventually starts the avalanche of people piling onto this thing and pulling away and reassessing his movies and reassessing his approach to women in these movies.
Man. I mean, Chappelle's not wrong then.
What's that? What is Chappelle's? I haven't watched his latest one.
I thought it was great.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's it's divided.
It is. I understand the criticism of it, but then you're missing the point in my eyes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't succeed. Like, it's not like everything he says to me personally is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard.
Right.
But he's talking about things that now supposedly are taboo and you shouldn't be talking about. And it's like, no, fuck that. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. We can't leave the closeted lives or compartmentalize and can't say anything about anything. Just like, we're human.
Yeah.
We're going to do that over and over. And he takes shots left and right, but he's like, I'm going to do 2 impressions. And the first one was dumb in my eyes. It gets the intended effect, and it does make you chuckle, but at the same time, anyway, so he gets to the second one. He's like, all right, now who is this? Whatever you do, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, we're going to find it. We're going to tear you down.
Right.
Like,
I saw that clip.
That's you, motherfuckers.
That's you. Yeah.
And you're like, for someone like him, yeah. If you keep working long enough, and he uses Kevin Hart as an example of losing the Oscars because of a tweet from 10 years ago or 12 years ago that is so absurd that if you think this is his worldview, then where is the proof within the past 10 years of him constantly putting things into the ether?
Right.
If you're just going – it's like James Gunn with a joke that he's already apologized for and then had to lose his job a second time.
Yeah.
After having already apologized and we all accepted his apology. Mm-hmm. Just when does it end? So now the re-litigation of Tarantino and then another generation down the line is going to litigate whether or not that litigation was justified, and it's just going to continue.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think certain things are universal.
I agree.
Certain things are
violence towards women.
Right. Certain things you don't joke about, certain things you don't talk about in a certain way.
See, I think that's subjective.
Right.
You're inflicting your taste.
Absolutely true. Absolutely. But then again, people going after them is them inflicting their tastes on them.
It is.
And they're offended by what they did. They have every right to go after them.
Exactly. With words.
Yeah.
So long as you don't have the authority to back up those words in that you can't say, hey, kill all the pygmies, and then suddenly people all go out and kill the pygmies.
That's true.
It is. So long as you can't, the threat is just words, you should be able to say whatever in the world you want to.
Yeah.
And it gives me a better perspective of who you are.
I also think it's a personal choice. If you have an issue with it, then you don't have to. You don't have to listen.
You don't have to
watch
enjoy it. You can turn it off.
Yep.
Walk away.
Yeah,
leave the club.
Exactly. And
you can voice your displeasure in other ways.
Exactly. And if other people want to listen to it or watch it or do whatever, that's their prerogative as well. Yeah.
Just when you have to say, no, that's not right. That's not right to you.
Right.
But 99.9% of the rest of the people that are engaged within this do not agree.
Right.
And they could give 2 shits, but you apparently this is going to be your fucking line in the sand.
Well, he talked about I think if I remember, someone was saying that Chappelle was about he was doing this during that special. He saw that a guy in the audience who's a trans person, or a person in the audience who's a trans person.
Oh, it's the epilogue? I didn't see it. I need to go and watch it.
Right. Apparently, he knew he was coming to that point in the act. He was going to tell the joke, and he wasn't sure if he'd do it. And he was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it." And the person laughed along with him. And when they had the conversation,
another woman got up and left.
Yeah, but he had the conversation with a trans person in the show, and he said, "No, I laughed because you were making fun of everybody else." So I was included with everybody else.
So you all get made fun of.
So it's equal.
Yes.
Because I thought the logic was kind of really brilliant here. If I'm going to laugh when you make fun of women or black people or white people or whatever.
Rape or he's talking about Michael Jackson sleeping with little kids.
Right. But I'm going to get offended about the trans joke.
Yes, you're just
I'm being selective.
Exactly. You're arbitrarily going, ha, 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 no.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Ha, 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 ha. And you're like, you can't have it every which way.
Yeah, and I think that's a good nuanced conversation to have about this.
Even if you tell people, though, they're not going to listen because eventually they're going to get to a point where, look, and I have things that I don't think are funny, but I don't want to stop someone's right from making a joke or telling a story about that type of thing or whatever because it's just part of the dialogue of humanity.
Right.
So I may get offended, but I'm not going to be like, well, you have to stop. It's just like, no, he doesn't.
Right.
Or no, she doesn't.
My issue comes when the comic turns on the fans. That's my issue. Like, it's like
they're human beings.
Yeah, but then I'm just like, look,
I agree.
You're no longer telling a joke. Yeah. You're doing Lenny Bruce at this point, and I think that's always the mistake. And I think where Chappelle, because there's a bit of like, I'm doing exactly what I'm blaming you of doing, which is me enforcing my points of views on you to make you ashamed of how you feel about something or think about something. And I think that's a mistake as well in reverse.
I think shame is harsh.
He's pointing his finger saying, that's you, motherfuckers, that's you. He is trying to shame them.
I would say he's more just pointing out hypocrisy.
Maybe.
Because
It comes off as shame to me because who is he to criticize them?
But at the same time, he goes out on a limb and sides with Michael Jackson sleeping with little kids.
That's crazy to me.
It is.
That was crazy to me. That was.
And
I
he
couldn't go that
opens
far.
basically with that. It's Anthony Bourdain is the opening.
Yeah, right.
Followed by this.
Yeah.
But that's how you're starting this off, of painting yourself as an unlikable character. Mm-hmm. And then you turn around and talk about how everybody's kind of unlikable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think people that are surprised by this don't know Chappelle's history of
he's been
talking about these kind of subjects, these social subjects all the time.
True, but it's only in the advent of the past 5 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
He would pepper it in others, but he was more so, I'm going to entertain. I'm going to talk about the ilk of the inner city or whatever the case is. Whereas now that is the determined intent of, I am here to educate as well.
Right.
Yeah. And I appreciate it because that's a ballsy place to live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. All right. Well, that's Adelardo. He's our last question for this episode of Topic Thunder. I want to thank everybody for listening and downloading and following along with us and being our patron and watching us. Hey-oh. Thank you so much for that. Matt, anything you want to say?
No. Let's just go ahead and close this bad boy up.
All right.
You know where you can follow me. You know everything about the show.
Yeah.
And to those that said they were in Texas and wanted to come to a live show, we are legitimately working on a date for that. And Canadian people, we are working on something for Toronto as well. But Houston jumped to the top of the list.
It kind of did.
It did. The Houston people stepped up and said, we want to make this happen.
Yeah.
And we have a tremendous amount of help, and now we have help from other avenues as well.
And if that motivates you, Toronto, all the better.
It is.
All the better. All right, that's you can follow him at Mount Nost. Follow me at The Roca Says. You guys have yourselves a great time with the rest of your world until we talk to you again. This is the Top 10's Topic Thunder.